All right, picking back up here with Mary Kay Cabot on this Hey MK edition of the Orange and Brown Talk podcast. I'm Ashley Bastock. So, Mary Kay, we're going to kind of switch gears now, specifically to the Browns offense. So, I'm going to start with this question from Stephen Medina because I think this is a bigger picture thing that a lot of fans are curious about. And I'm going to amend it a little bit because he says, Hey, Mary Kay, with the Browns wanting to be a bit more explosive in the passing game, and with a big hit on the cap, do you think Nick Chubb's days are numbered? So I think that's specific to his time in Cleveland, and fans are starting to think bigger picture about that. But I'm also curious about what you think this means for his role in the offense.
You know, I still think that he will be showcased and used a lot this season. I still think that Kevin Stefanski's offense and Alex Van Pelt's offense is based a lot on play action and running the ball and being very powerful in that way. And if you looked at offenses last season, you could see that the running game is kind of back in vogue to a certain extent. There's a lot more running going on. It's used to sometimes set up the pass, sometimes vice versa. But I really think that, that Nick Chubb is going to be an incredibly integral part of the offense this year. And had they thought about, trying to make a big trade for someone, it was never going to involve Nick Chubb. That just never was going to happen. Now, there will come a time in the very, probably in the near future where they have to start to look at Nick Chubb and say, okay, how much does he have left in the tank versus how much he needs to get paid? And, these things don't last forever, especially with running backs. They do a good job of keeping some tread off the tires for Nick. That's very helpful. But for the most part, this year, rest assured, he is a huge part of the offense.
Yeah, that's like what I have kind of been thinking as well. Like, there's no way it's going to be this immediate switch from him. And I do always think about the fact, and I think about it a lot in the season when fans complain about Nick Chubb, like only getting 15 carries as opposed to 20 in certain games. And I always think like the tread on the tires thing is really important given how running back lifespan works in the NFL. Again, Mully from Lyndhurst, who asked our last question here, but I thought this was interesting too, because looking at depth, assuming, Kareem Hunt and obviously Dearness Johnson are now gone, do you think the Browns are going to try to draft or get another running back through free agency?
You know what? Maybe they will. They can draft one late. It's a position where it's not a premium position and it's not hard to go out and find a good running back somewhere. It's just not hard. Now, it's hard to go out and find a Nick Chubb, but it's not really all that hard to go out and find another Dearness Johnson, who he just wanted an opportunity. He probably just did not want to languish on the bench here again. I don't see Kareem Hunt coming back here, but you can, once again, he's in the never say never category. If you're still out there and you can be had at a bargain basement price and you want to come back and Nick wants him back and all of those things happen, and anything can still happen in that regard. So, I wouldn't completely rule it out. I never felt like it was front burner or something that was, really realistically going to happen. But the longer it goes, you just never know.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking the other day. Like, the longer